Hey Soapy folks, this is Kevin with Divinely Designed, and this is going to be a short video, but one of my YouTube viewers asked about a video about how to keep a soap journal or a soap notebook or a soap diary or whatever you want to call it. So I thought I would do a quick video and just show you sort of how I organize mine and keep my notes. So this is just a 3-ring binder that I got. I don't even remember where I got it, somewhere for cheap. And in the beginning part of my journal, my soap, I have a bunch of different, I have a couple of other recipes for some other stuff and just some information that I wanted to keep on hand. So that's the first part, so I'm just going to skip that. And then I have my recipes. Now I use Soap Calc. So whenever I do a recipe, I actually print out the piece of paper. Now, when I first started doing this, I would type out my notes in Soap Calc because you can just click in that space and type the notes out. And I still do that sometimes, but more often than not now, I just print out the recipe and then I write by hand. Because inevitably when you're doing a recipe, something changes or you need to adjust. So, you know, the stuff that you typed up you may need to change anyway. So I tend to just print the recipe out, leave these spaces blank so that I can write notes as I go along. Now my recipes are organized by date. So the first soap I made is back here, and then as I go forward there's more of them. Now as you can see, for some of my soaps, I actually then started to take pictures and put them with the recipes themselves so that I could see, you know, kind of exactly what the design was that I did. Now here I messed up, I forgot to print it out, so I hand wrote a couple and I still took pictures. Now I have stopped taking pictures and printing them out and attaching them for a couple of reasons. One, I just feel like I'm wasting paper. And I have all of my pictures digitally on my iPad and on my computer. So if I ever need them, I can look back and see them. So I don't do that as much anymore. I also make a lot of videos of my soaps, so if I want to go back and see exactly how I did something, I can just go watch my video. Now, that's an advantage that some people don't have because they don't make videos, and that's fine. But that just means you need to then take more detailed notes about how you do things. So you'll notice that some of mine have a lot more detailed notes depending on kind of what was going on. I wrote out, you know, exactly what I did. And of course the recipe's already here. Let me switch to kind of my last one just to show you sort of where I am in terms of what I've kind of done. So this is one of my latest recipes. See if I can get a little bit more focused here. Maybe not. Okay. So the name of the recipe is here. This one was Pirate Queen, which I just posted a video for. The other good thing about this is if you print this out, it has the date on it of when you did things. So now I have my recipe, but I also then write in here, now this is actually, I've sort of got a standard recipe now. So what I did is I put the standard recipe in Soap Calc and printed out a whole bunch of them, so they're blank. And that's why I then write notes. But on the side here, I don't know if you can see, let's see if I can get a little closer. You can see I wrote fragrance, color, and ads. So that helps me, reminds me to take, you know, the notes of what I did. So for this one, this is Pirate Queen. The fragrance, I used 1 ounce of Mayan Gold from Brambleberry, 1 ounce of Bay Rum from Brambleberry, 1 ounce of Blood Orange essential oil from New Directions. So not only am I including the amount and what it is, but I like to include the supplier who I got it from in case I want to go back and replicate something. And that's really, I think, what keeping a journal is all about. If you want to redo something, it's hard to trust your memory unless you have, you know, a really great memory. Then fine, then you can remember everything. I can't do that. So if I wanted to recreate this soap, I want enough information here that I could do it. So for my color, then again, I write down exactly what micas, in this case I used micas. I used pink and blue micas from Nurture Soap Supplies. Actually, these are, this is just an error. I just noticed this. This isn't rainbow micas. These are Vibrance micas. So anyway, so that's a good example. I just, I made an error, so I crossed it out and corrected it. But the yellow was a shimmer mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus. And then for additives, I had some bentonite clay and some powdered goat's milk. And again, I include the amounts and then the suppliers. And I didn't write down my supplier for my bentonite clay, but and that's because I don't remember who it is. And then I wrote a little bit about kind of what the design elements were. In this case, I did some mica in oil on top. And for that, I used blue sparkles, aquamarine sparkle, and honey gold mica, all from Element Bath & Body. And that's really it. I have enough information here that if I wanted to, I could come back and recreate this soap. Now, again, if you, the only other thing I would suggest is, like I did, here, is if you don't have your photos stored some other way, it might be good to take a picture to include that here. So then visually you can see exactly what you did, the swirls and how they looked. The other thing I have here then is just in the end I've started to keep just invoices and things from my orders, and I'm only a hobbyist really, so if you're a business I'm sure you have a much more organized invoice system than I do. I just keep it all in this one folder so I know where everything is. So, okay, that's it. That was a short video on keeping a soap notebook. Comments, questions, leave them below, and check back for more soap videos. Bye.